The Philippines is being called Asia's rising tiger. But what exactly does this mean? Posting a GDP growth of 6.7% in 2017, the country has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, expanding at a rate unseen in the last 5 decades. The good news is, it's just getting started. The better news is that we have designed a brand new city to be the nucleus of this economic renaissance. Less than 1 hour from the capital, Manila, straddled by hills and blessed with tropical climate all year long. We are building the city of the future, a landmark development twice the size of Manhattan. Originally developed by the Americans for its secure and strategic location in Asia Pacific, Clark is being transformed into a disaster-resilient metropolis that will be competitive and attractive to a global market. It will consist of 4 main districts. The Clark Freeport Zone, an existing mixed-use complex established in the 90s. Clark Global City, which will serve as the primary business district. And New Clark City, which will house satellite government offices and a first-class sports village. Central to all of this is Clark International Airport, which will soon be expanded to accommodate up to 80 million passengers a year. This ensures that travel will be comfortable while trade is seamless. A city unmatched in connectivity, with access to world-class highways and the service of high-speed railways, connecting north to south and east to west, across surrounding seas and over oceans. Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. With no red tape, lower taxes, and endless investment opportunities. This is a city prepared to attract talent so that the country's best and brightest will come here to work and choose to call this place home. Because this is a city that knows how to play, where you can unwind at your own speed, where safety is paramount, and people always come first. This is a city where history and culture thrive, where modern conveniences meet timeless traditions, and progress is driven by passion. This is a city with limitless ambition that may someday find itself among the great cities of the world, built for business so that time is always well spent, and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark.
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to HR on the Go, where top trends on and hot topics in HR and people management are coming your way. So buckle up and prepare for takeoff. HR on the Go is a joint collaboration of Clark HR Council and International HR Institute airing live on the CHRC Facebook page every month. If you are interested in becoming a CHRC member, join us via www.clarkhrcouncil.org/join. And just like that, we are on our fifth episode of HR on the Go Season 2. In today's episode, I am joined by an experienced L&D professional and life learner. And we are going to be talking about emotional intelligence and why EQ matters in the workplace. The workplace, can be a place of happiness. No, that can be your source of fulfillment, contentment. No, but as we all know, the workplace causes also pressure, no stress and anxiety, and emotional intelligence, as defined by Peter Salovey and John Mayer, is the ability to recognize and understand emotions in oneself and others. EQ in the workplace, or emotional quotient, will determine the employee's way of handling their emotions, dealing with stressors, and of course, even handling their professional relationships. And now, to help us understand EQ, or emotional intelligence, and why it matters in the workplace, may I introduce to you our speaker for today. She is a certified practitioner in human resources, a certified learning and development professional, and she has also completed her Master's of Arts in Communications in the University of the Philippines, Silliman, and she is also currently taking her Master's of Science in Human Capital and Organizational Development in the University of Asia and Pacific. She was able to diagnose a lot of organizations. So she has taught leadership and management programs, communication programs, and a lot more. And today we will be talking about emotional intelligence. Ano nga ba ito? So now it is my honor to introduce to you Miss Marie and Rita P. Celeste, or Miss Marie. Hi, Miss Celeste. Miss Celeste, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Welcome
Hi,
to
May. Yes, yes.
Hi, Miss
Thank you
Celeste.
for
Where
the
are you now? Where are you
warm.
now?
I am at home.
You're working remotely?
Yes, yes. I have
Ayan.
the
So, paano kaya?
privilege
Kamusta kaya
of.
ang emotional intelligence ni Miss Celeste sa bahay, working remotely? Ayan. So, Miss Celeste, no? So,
Mhm.
I'm very, very interested with our topic today, actually, because I'm also a psychology graduate, and emotional intelligence is something that we tackle a lot, no, in
Right.
college, back in college. But I haven't really, delve into how it impacts the
Mhm.
workplace. So I guess let's begin with defining emotional intelligence. Ano ba yon, Miss Celeste?
Sure, May, but first I'd like to thank you for the warm welcome. And I appreciate that you looked into my profile. But I'd say I'm humbled by the experience that I got in the workplace. That's why I
Mhm,
think I'm here and I'm able to share what I have learned. Of
mhm,
course, through the experiences and the lenses of the people that I've
mhm,
worked with.
mhm.
So just like what you mentioned, May, no, you're a psychology graduate. Most probably, technically, you know this more than I do. But how it's seen, how it's experienced, how it's felt, how it's
Mhm,
done in the workplace may be
mhm,
more insight, right, on what
mhm,
we're
mhm,
going to talk about today. I'm excited actually kasi this is something that I myself am not a graduate of.
mhm,
Sabi ko nga, no, I am a life learner. So,
mhm.
for me, this is a life competency, a skill, or something that we could
That's true.
also
That's true.
learn from.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. So
Sige.
thank you also, Miss Celeste, no, for being with us. I know that you do consulting, no, on trainings and a lot of topics. So thank you so much for sparing an hour for us to talk about this topic for today. So there you go, Miss
Sure,
Celeste.
May.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, you know what? I actually am the one who's supposed to thank you and Kevin and the rest of the gang in Serica Logica and Clark HR Council for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences. And I hope those who are watching today and those who will be watching our recording will also be able to relate to our discussion because this is a well talked about topic and
That's true. That's true.
yes, sought after in demand program, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of invites, you know, from
Mm-hmm.
different companies asking us
Mm-hmm.
to do this for them. But you know what, May, I was privileged to have worked with the experts on this from Genos, who
Mm-hmm.
is the official global partner of Genos Australia, and
Mm-hmm.
they are Immovation. So
Mm-hmm.
they do a lot of this, and they've done this for my company, and they've been doing this for the different government agencies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to define, I'd say, May, when you Google emotional intelligence, most search results will give you EQ. No,
Yes, correct.
traditionally that's how we used to call it, pero mas kilala na siya ngayon as EI, no? As
I
emotional
see. I see. I see.
intelligence. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't help but get results that compare it with IQ.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are to say that what is the closest definition that can easily be comprehended by everyone, yung sinabi mo, May, kanina na-catch ko yun, no? Sa introduction mo.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know, how we understand our own emotions, syempre pertaining to ourselves first,
Mm-hmm.
and then how we see ourselves emotionally, right? When we deal with others, the people
Mm-hmm.
around us, right? In
Mm-hmm.
whatever circle we may be, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the workplace, no? And that's not
Mm-hmm.
to mention yung mga ano no, yung mga ginagampanan mong roles we're in, kasama lahat talaga ng emotions natin whether we like it or we like it. I'm not sure if you will agree, May, and the rest of our
Mm-hmm.
audience, but
Mm-hmm.
this is something na talagang kailangan talagang pag-aralan, no? In terms of awareness. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you may not
Mm-hmm.
be, let's say, burying your head in the books, but this is immersing yourself
Mm-hmm.
in the likeliness of how you're feeling right now and how others are
Mm-hmm.
feeling towards it, right?
Mm-hmm. So for a lot of people, no, kasi it sounds so technical, no? But basically,
Right.
yun nga, as
Mm-hmm.
you stated, it's really how we handle our emotions and our feelings, no? And now, I'm just wondering, Miss Celeste, how does it differ with IQ? Ayan,
That's a
I know
very,
that,
yeah,
mhm.
that's a very
I
good
know there's
question.
intelligence and emotion, but how does it differ really?
Right, right. Technically kasi talagang magkaiba sila, no? One
Mm-hmm.
thing is for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
if I may quote, by comparison, we know that IQ refers to how we like solve problems, how we think about things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It pertains to our cognitive or the cognitive aspect of being human, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ito yung sa kung paano tayo mag-isip. So ang
Mm-hmm.
emotional intelligence really has everything to do with being able to identify, assess, and control the emotions of oneself, of others, and of groups. So, yun yung malaking difference, no? Sabi nga nila, merong mga construct, 'di ba? Yung mga
Mm-hmm.
talagang tangible in terms of like, I give you an algebra problem
Mm-hmm.
and then you give me an answer,
Solve
right?
it.
Not
Mhm,
everybody can do that.
mhm,
But if you can do
mhm,
that easily, then most probably you have better IQ than the
mhm,
others.
mhm,
But
mhm,
let's say you're in a situation, May, and you're confronted with someone who just attacks you. How do
mhm.
you
I see, I
respond,
see.
right?
Mhm,
And then
mhm. It's
and then
not
how
the
do you
same for everyone. Mhm,
exactly? I mean, how do
mhm,
you react to that emotion wherein you're being attacked, right?
mhm,
So
mhm,
let us consider that you're just just quietly just occupying your space there, and then
mhm,
suddenly someone tries to like offend you or upset
mhm,
you. So
mhm,
there's a big difference. One thing's for
mhm,
sure. But one, I think I can see a similarity in the way that we can assess it. I mean, it can be assessed, it can be tested, and
mhm,
definitely it
mhm.
can be improved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think the main general thing that I also got from that is Miss Celeste, no, with IQ, as you said, there's one specific answer to it. Say, for example, you can be
Mhm.
right or wrong, diba? It's an algebra answer. You can be right or wrong, but an emotional intelligence might be different for everyone. sometimes there really are no right or wrong answers. It depends to the person's emotional intelligence. So, Miss Celeste, why is emotional intelligence no relevant and important in the workplace?
That's a very good question. We know that organizations are looking to improve the workplace in terms of culture, in terms of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how do we make sure that we are a high performing organization. Yan na kasi ngayon yung labanan talaga,
For
May,
sure.
no?
Mm-hmm.
Um, lalo na nung nagka-pandemic, it changed
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way we do things, 'di ba, naging remote na, and
Mm-hmm.
have you ever thought, I mean, ako personally, hindi ko naisip na, I know that we will be technologically advanced, pero hindi ko inisip na
Mm-hmm.
ngayon na yun, na lahat
Mm-hmm.
tayo magre-rely,
Remote
no?
na. Mm-hmm.
Oo, yeah. And would you agree, May, no, and the rest of the audience here, na iba yung remote relationship in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba?
Very
No?
true.
Kaysa
Mm-hmm.
yung sa office, alam mo yon, yung
Yes,
mga
correct.
office chismis natin by the water vending machine, yung sa
Mm-hmm.
cafeteria when you get coffee, 'di ba? Or doon sa
Mm-hmm.
cubicle mo when you stand and like look over and try to, have this chit chat with your office mate.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that we still would like to ensure that our people feel and know that they are the most important asset of any organization. And
Mm-hmm.
as such management of that skill, we must be able to ensure that the way people feel and the way they perform cannot be denied to be connected, no? Linking yan. Hindi ka naman siguro pumapasok, May, na ano ka lang, no, na isa ka lang na sabihin na natin program manager. Siyempre, pag
Mm-hmm.
pumasok ka sa trabaho, hindi mo naman pwedeng iwanan yung ibang roles mo. Siyempre, ano ka
Mm-hmm.
pa rin,
Correct.
anak ka pa rin, or kung ikaw ba ay
Mm-hmm. Correct.
asawa, or ikaw ba ay kung ano pa man ang ginagampanan mo. So, siyempre, pag nagtrabaho ka, sabi nga nung commercial, di ba, para ka kanino
Mm-hmm.
bumabangon. So, maraming rason. So,
Mm-hmm.
hindi talaga siya mapaghihiwalay. One thing is
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Kaya ang organization, ini-ensure niya na ang kanyang mga workforce ay significantly, no, they are valued. They feel and they know this for sure. And the
Mm-hmm.
organization reaches out to make sure that this is not only seen and this is not only worded, lip service lang, but this is
Mm-hmm.
felt and experienced in the workplace.
Mm-hmm. So that's right, Miss Celeste. No, kumbaga, I would just wanted to circle back no to what you mentioned about the difference of emotional, maintaining this emotional intelligence in the
Mm.
workplace, ng face to face versus remote. So how does it differ po? But like, how do organizations do a work around on these things? Like, what can organizations do to improve, help the employees improve their emotional intelligence?
That's a
Face to face
very
versus
good
remote.
question and very timely, May.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you have heard, and most of us, if not, have experienced what it means to value yung mental health, no?
Mm-hmm.
Um, sa remote na environment ng workplace natin
Mm-hmm.
ngayon, hindi ka kasi, wala ka doon no? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
kapag nasa office ka, may iba yung dynamics ng magkakasama kayo. Yung
Correct.
naririnig mo yung tawa na
Mm-hmm.
yung yung air, 'di ba? That goes with
Yes,
it,
correct,
yung
correct. Mm-hmm.
hampas sa kamay mo, 'di ba? Pag
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mm-hmm.
are happy about things, and the that easily makikita mo yung gaze, 'di ba? And
Mm-hmm.
when people are around, sabi nga nila, there's a certain air. So yun yung
Mm-hmm.
mga wala sa remote, no? Ah,
Mm-hmm.
na medyo nakaka-affect in terms of, halimbawa lang ako, no? I'm not feeling well today. Sabihin na natin. Can
Mm-hmm.
can somebody see that, you think? I mean, over Google Chat or over, 'di ba?
Correct, correct,
Mas
correct. Mm-hmm.
ako ng emoticon na may thermometer na nagsasabi,
Correct,
I'm
correct.
well, 'di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Or somebody asks me, na,
Mm-hmm.
am I how are you, May? Or how are you
Mhm.
sa audience natin?
Mhm.
So, alam mo yon yung hindi katulad sa office, bawa kahit nakatitig ka lang sa laptop mo, sa desktop mo,
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
can look, di ba, and say,
Mhm.
uy,
Mhm.
basta, or mukhang ano ka, mukhang okay ka lang
Feeling
ba?
sad ka today. Mhm.
Oo,
Mhm.
di
Correct.
ba?
Correct.
Yun
Correct.
yung
Mhm.
tingin kong medyo mga disconnects.
Mhm. Mhm.
And talagang mas malimit tayo mag-communicate online. So,
Mhm.
kailangan pag remote na yung workplace, the communication must be more than open na. No? Katulad
Mhm.
nung sa office na may mga brown bag sessions tayo, di ba? May mga ganyan.
Mhm.
Pero
Mhm.
ito talagang, you really have to ensure na you check, temp check,
Mhm.
check
Mhm.
in, di ba? Ito talaga
Mhm.
yung mga keywords natin with
Mhm.
our people.
Mhm. Mhm. Kumbaga, some people would think that remote communication is actually easy, ganyan. But at the
Oo.
same time, there are more efforts that have to be put in to ensure that people are being checked in once in a while, and you have to really double the effort. Because as you mentioned, Miss Celeste, before you can
True.
just kamusta on the side, but right now you have to, when you are onto your work so much, baka makalimutan mo na you still have workmates to check on, or you still have, staff, especially if you're a leader, no, you have to check on your staff, no. So,
True.
yeah,
True.
now naman, Mas Silat, let's move on to the employees na, no. So, how would you determine if, if an employee is having is an employee have, low intelligence, or low emotional intelligence? How can you determine that? Especially if you're a
Ah,
leader.
that's you know what, May, that is the question that we always have to ask ourselves as leaders, no? I mean, if we are pertaining to leaders. Pero
Mm-hmm.
kung hindi ka man leader, as a team
Mm-hmm.
member,
Mm-hmm.
dapat ano rin, no, aware din tayo
Aware.
kasi team
Mhm.
player tayo eh. Hindi naman,
Correct.
siguro alam naman natin yung burden na dinadala natin as a team.
Correct.
So,
Mhm.
sabihin na natin okay ka sa role mo, no? Good for you. Pero, syempre, yung performance mo contributes to the overall good of the team. And what if you so happen to be the one who's not feeling good, no?
Mhm.
Or having to go through something. The leader should be the one to initiate that. At hindi natin kailangan mag-antay, no? Para yung team members pa natin na mag-open up. Kasi minsan, they may not be as confident. They may have a different personality, 'di ba? So, tayo bilang leaders, para tayong mother eagle eh, 'di ba? We watch over our nest. So, syempre, we wanna ensure na, alam mo yon, intact, we are able to be there and provide support as needed. In a watchful eye when we say we don't micromanage, but we just wanna be felt, no? Yung presence
Mhm.
natin is there. Yun, alam mo yung, kahit yung flap lang ng wings ng mother eagle is already an assurance to the eaglet na she's there, no? So, parang sa ating mga leaders, yung mga simple lang na mga check-in, doesn't need to be more than 5 minutes, di ba? Minsan, simple chika lang nga naman eh. Alam mo yun, minsan ang tao, eto yung pinaka remarkable na statement and question nowadays. Kamusta ka, no? Kahit na sabihin mo pang di mo masyadong sincere na sinasabi yan. Pero the mere fact na nagsabi ka, 'di ba? You might get an answer na
Mhm.
unexpected na may mag-pour out ng heart niya or mag-share ng kanyang pinagdadaanan ngayon.
Mhm.
And you just provided yourself an opportunity to be of support to someone. So, if it helps,
Mhm.
other than observation and check in with your team
Mhm.
members,
Mhm.
di ba meron tayong mga coaching, meron tayong mga
Mhm.
one-on-one,
Mhm.
yan, meron tayong mga brown bag sessions, meron tayong mga lunch and learn. So, any way that we can find to just, delve into how people are doing in the workplace, doesn't have to be a formal performance discussion, appraisal, or anything document. It can be informal, have someone over coffee, have someone, join someone on lunch,
Employee
or
engagement. Employee engagement is the key talaga. Mhm.
exactly, communication pa rin. Kasi,
Mhm.
yun naman talaga kasi ang door eh. No? It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be a wide door. It can be just, a step into it. But if you let
Mhm.
it, these people might open the doors and let you in. Who knows?
Mhm. Miss Celeste, you mentioned about brown bag session. So
Mm,
for those of our viewers who do not know what this is, can we get a
yeah.
better understanding of what this is all about? So we can, they might want to practice it in their organization as well.
Thank you, May, for catching that. I was actually supposed to say more about it, but the my thoughts got the better of me. But yeah, yung mga dinadala natin sa lunch before. I'm not sure baka hindi yat, I'm sure hindi kami pareho ng generation ni May at saka sa mga nakikinig, no? Pero I remember, di ba may lunch box tayo? Tapos minsan, di mo naman kailangan ng lunch box. Kailangan mo lang, sabihin na natin, plastic or paper bag. Di ba? Nandun yung sandwich mo or yung fruits mo or anything for that matter. Yan. Ang importante is may dala ka. 'Di ba? Usually, ano yan yun yung much awaited sa mga schools recess, lunch, 'di ba? Yung mga ganyan.
Yes, yes.
So, doon sa bag mo, kaya lang naman brown bag kasi usual na color is brown, 'di ba?
Brown,
The
yeah.
recycled one. When you open it, it's just like representing opportunities. Yung, di ba hindi mo malaman kung saan tutungo ang usapan 'di ba? Minsan, maganda lang magkaroon ng opportunity para makapag-usap. So, diyan nagsimula ang brown bag na concept. Hanggang sa nanganak na to ng agenda para naman guided. So, ginagamit na natin to sa mga sessions na kung saan lalo na sa Filipino culture masarap maghuntahan at mag-usap-usap ng may pagkain, di ba? So hindi mo feel na para bang shinotgun ka into a discussion, di ba? Alam mo, freely makaka-open ka ng thoughts nang hindi ka i-evaluate. Yung ganun.
Plancha.
Oo. Yung hindi baka naman sabihin nito, ganito. At least yung gusto natin relax. Kasi sabi nga, pag mas relax ka, mas yung emotions mo mas stable, 'di ba? Hindi ka threatened. So mas makakapag-communicate ka, mas makakapag-isip ka, hindi ka driven, hindi ka forced. So that's one.
All right, Marcela. How about for emotional intelligence? Are there, competencies or elements to it? And if there is, what are these? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many to talk about, May. But today, I'd like to focus on emotionally intelligent behaviors. Yung gusto nating i-reflect sa workplace mismo. Kasi I think ito yung parang big takeaways na pwede nating maging mabaon agad, no? Total naman, nag-usap na tayo ng mga baon-baon. So, share ko sa inyo yung 6, no, na emotionally intelligent na mga behaviors. One is self-awareness. And I think most people would say na this is basic. Pero alam nyo naman, the most basic normally is the most ignored, no? And if you're not aware, you are the only person who doesn't understand. And baka the joke is on you, diba? So this is something that I'd like to start with. Self-awareness is key. And usually, lahat po ng solusyon sa problema natin, based lang naman sa experience ko at sa observation ko po, no, sa mga nangyayari, ay self-awareness. Kasi tayo lang naman na makakapili kung yes or no, kung go or stop, right? Kung continue, or kung, di ba, kung kung
that's very important to Miss Celeste. I like that you mentioned that tayo ang may alam when to stop or go. Because sometimes we tend to say yes and yes and yes to our bosses, to our mentors, to our leaders. Na alam naman natin to ourselves that we try so hard to finish all of this, but at the end of the day, you have to go back to your checklist. Kaya pa ba, no? Mga ganyan. So I really, really like that. Self-awareness. Okay, please continue with us.
It's actually good that you mentioned that, May, in that context, yung example mo, because that's the beauty of emotional intelligence, because your awareness brings forth self-worth, no? What you cannot do, what you can do, and yung honesty that brings about courage, no? Why courage? I can say honesty, I can say frank, I can say all other things, but I choose the word courage kasi hindi madaling mag-no, lalo na sa boss. I mean, for you to be able to say that, you must have that emotions, in you, identified. Na alam mo na it matters that I am courageous to say this to my boss because the value is we both will benefit from this. And I honor my boss, I honor this job, 'di ba? No, na kung yun yung ganun yung thinking mo ha. Pero
Mhm.
syempre may iba naman tayong intentions, pero I'd like to think na second emotionally intelligent behavior may would be awareness of others. We have to accept the fact that it's not always about us. No, talagang we have to be aware of others and surroundings as well. And to add to that, ako ito talagang pangarap ko na may yung maging authentic in as much as I can. Kasi ang hirap talaga. Hindi ko talaga masabi. Alam mo, minsan na ano kaya yung may mga reason kung bakit you cannot be authentic. Pero syempre, you reason with yourself. Pero eto yun no? And I'd like to connect this with branding. Syempre, kung sino ka, yun naman ang pinakamahalaga at the end of the day, di ba? Pero syempre, kung sino ka is kung ano yung pinili mong maging at yung gusto mong maging para sa akin, no? And syempre, self-management, kung paano mo mag-strike ng balance, isa pang napakahirap yan, May. Balance is key, sabi nga nila. Pero Diyos ko po, in reality, kamusta naman, di ba? Sa lahat ng gina-juggles natin everyday, nasa na si self, di ba? Sa pag-manage na yan. And of course, para sa akin, kapag nagkaroon ng balance, at nakikita ko rin to sa experience ng iba, and hopefully ma-experience natin no, consistently, we get to that point wherein yung performance natin is inspired by how aware we are, how we're able to balance things and manage it, because dito na natin nakikita yung emotional reasoning natin, no, for how we think about things, how we respond to things, how we act on things. That's why ito po natutunan ko rin dun sa mga na-attendan kong seminars, sa mga workshops, as an honorary member of the Genus Emotional Intelligence practice, ito yung yung gusto kong ma-achieve, no? At I must say, May, it's not easy. Kasi kailangan ko talagang maging, kaya lagi akong bumabalik sa one kapag nag-struggle ako. Self-awareness. Tapos doon ako lagi nagsisimula. Tapos unti-unti ko pababa.
Because correct, you won't be able to parang you cannot be aware of other people's feelings, and you cannot manage yourself if you don't go back to to being aware to what your feelings and emotions are. So I really agree with that, Miss Celeste. We have to go back to self-awareness talaga.
True. That's right.
So again, for our these again, it's self-awareness. Miss Celeste, please help me enumerate lang for our audience. So it's self-awareness,
Then awareness of
awareness of
others,
others,
right?
self-management,
Self-management. Then you have, of course, authenticity.
authenticity. Okay.
Yeah. And then you have, of course, your inspiring performance. And then last is emotional reasoning.
Alright. Okay, so again, for our audience, no, I'll be flashing it on the screen later on. So again, it's self-awareness, awareness of others, self-management, authenticity, inspiring performance, and emotional reasoning. So again, Miss Celeste, I feel like it's difficult, no? It has to be step by step talaga. You cannot improve all of these all at once, no? Hindi naman
True.
natin kaya yun, no? But now
Tama.
I have a question naman again, Miss Celeste, no? How do we what are the drawbacks naman or disadvantages of having low emotional intelligence at work?
Oo. 'Di ba, kung malaman mo na, kasi yung binigay ko na 6, yun yung emotionally intelligent behaviors. So, kung hindi ka self-aware, alam mo nang isa yan sa mga signs or indicators na medyo mababa yung emotional intelligence mo, di ba? Kasi yun yung earlier question mo, May. So, imagine this. Kung hindi self-aware, then alam na natin na hindi ka rin, medyo mahirap ka rin maging aware sa how you translate to others and how others, dealings with you is understood or comprehended by you, or pwedeng vice versa, ikaw ang hindi nakakaintindi kung bakit ginagawa ng ibang tao to, no? So may lacking doon kasi, lalo na kung alam na natin na communication is not something that you use, no, to understand things. Kung hindi naman kasi lahat talaga is kayang mag-open up or malakas ang loob na mag-speak up, or kayang sabihin na natin mag-confront, no, in the context of like, hi May, I have a concern. Yung mga ganon, hindi naman
Mhm,
lahat.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So, kapag, as a leader or as a team member, kasama ka sa kasamahan mo, um, ang nagiging nito, drawback is that syempre apektado talaga, whether you like it or you like it, yung mga transactions mo. So sabihin na natin nakaka-deliver ka naman sa results ng role mo, no? Let's just say you're a manager, or let's just say you are a specialist, or you are very good at what you do. Okay yun, no? Nakaka-solve ka ng problem. IQ-wise, you're able to deliver the results. Pero paano mo kaya nakuha yung results? No? Sabihin na natin na haras mo yung kasamahan mo, na-anoy yung boss mo dahil
Correct.
paulit-ulit.
Mhm,
Na-solve
mhm,
mo naman na-delivered. No? Walang question na you have the
mhm,
results.
mhm,
The
mhm.
tangibles, yes. Pero how you came up with it, what went on, what happened to the relationship after, nag-away kayo, nagkasagutan kayo, and whatnot, pero hindi kayo nagkaroon ng closure. Tapos hanggang ngayon, you feel bad whenever this person, comes up to you. Kasi nangyari sa akin yan, May. Na
Mhm.
I think na banggit, I'm not sure, no, baka naririnig mo na rin to, yung quiet quitting.
Yes, yes, I've
So,
heard of quiet
oo.
quitting several times, and up to this day, I really cannot decipher, ano ba, positive ba ang quiet quitting, or is it negative? No, can you
That's a
help
good
us
question.
shed light to this topic? No, I've heard this several times, Miss Celeste.
Yeah. Si TikTok kasi ang dami-daming tinuro sa
Ang
ating
dami
mga
alam ng
keywords
TikTok.
eh. Oo eh. Pero alam mo, napag-usapan namin sa school yan. At I think may, may mga valid points. At syempre, yung nag-imbento ng word lang ang makakapagsabi kung tama nga itong na-capture natin. Pero I think I can accept the fact that words can evolve as languages are dynamic, diba? So, depende sa context. Quiet quitting is bare minimum, of what is expected of you and you deliver. So that's positive on that note. But if we're
Mhm.
going to talk about being proactive and doing extra
Going
milestone,
above and beyond.
negative
Mhm,
yan. Kasi wala ka
mhm,
na-expect sa akin. Kasi this
mhm,
is,
mhm,
ito lang naman ang nasa job description ko. Then, this
mhm,
is what I will deliver. Siyempre maraming facets yan. Pero depende sa kung saan natin siya titingnan. At kasi kung masama or mabuti, alam naman natin kung ano yung masama at mabuti. Pero syempre, kailangan ilagay natin yan sa context ng maraming bagay, no? Yung expectation sa'yo sa trabaho, yung expectation mo sa sarili mo, 'di ba? Maraming involved eh. Kaya nga maraming
mhm.
concepts diyan.
Wait.
Pero true, true.
Mhm, mhm,
Kaya
mhm.
ang organization ang nagsasuffer actually, no? At kung hindi aware ang organization through HR or L&D or engagement, then itong culture maapektuhan. So mangyayari nito, kakalat to, no? Parang sakit, magkakahawaan 'yan hanggang sa magiging acceptable na lang 'yan, no? Hindi kumbaga okay na lang. So may responsibility malaki yung organization na kapag nakita niya ng may mga ganitong mga signs, dapat gawan na ng paraan. Or habang hindi pa
Mhm,
nangyayari, dapat nga mag-create na tayo ng, ng
mhm,
way
mhm,
for
mhm.
people,
Correct,
'di
correct.
ba? Oo, for people to um, um, understand, 'di ba, that
Mhm,
communication is key. So that,
mhm,
we
mhm,
can avoid these things lingering,
mhm,
and the
mhm, mhm,
culprit behind all these. So, drawback talaga para sa akin overall, May, is when we keep quiet and we pretend that it's not a concern right now and we can put it off because it's not a priority. And then we all get surprised one morning that may mga ganito tayong problema, di ba?
mhm. Correct,
Kasi
correct.
L&D May is long term naman talaga. Yung mga one
Correct.
thing,
I
wala
have
naman
to
siguro
agree.
kaya kailangan talaga hangga't maaga, nagtatanim na tayo, no? Kung anong gusto nating maging result sa organization natin. Hindi yung firefighting tayo lagi or band-aid na mga
Man-made
ano,
solution.
oo, na mga solutions na alam naman natin hindi sustainable in the long run.
Correct. Correct. Miss Celeste, I really, really love this conversation because coming into this interview with you right now, before I started asking questions, my perception of internal emotional intelligence in the workplace is solely the employees. Parang emotional intelligence is on you. Kumbaga, my belief was that I have to improve my own emotional intelligence because I want to be able to work with others. I want to be able to
Mhm.
complete all of my tasks emotionally healthy and all of that, being mentally healthy at work. But I love how you pointed out that the organization, no, the leaders, and yun nga, talagang pinoint out mo how organizations really, really have a impact on the employees' emotional intelligence. Kumbaga, it's not just kumbaga being resilient, no? Hindi lang siya being
Right.
kailangan pagiging matiisin in the workplace. Kumbaga, I really like how you pointed out na dapat ang organization, they really do something about it, no? So thank you
Right.
very much for pointing that out, Miss Celeste. Now, naman on this matter naman, how can an employee naman po improve their emotional intelligence, knowing, say for example, the organization has already done their part, no, or the leaders has already done their part, no? How can an employee or a person, for that matter, a person talaga improve their emotional intelligence?
That's good. From the premise that you gave me, that is,
Mm-hmm.
if the company or the organization has done
Mm-hmm.
or
Their
exhausted
part.
efforts, oo,
Mm-hmm.
that is, other than training, nagkaroon ng mga development opportunities for our workforce,
Mm-hmm.
noting na nagkaroon ng interventions as needed, like sa mga individual development plans or
Mm-hmm.
performance improvement plans. Bakit ko iniisa-isa to, no, May? Kasi iba yung may ginawa ka lang na nagpa-seminar ka and you expect everyone to
Correct.
just,
Correct.
master
Correct.
that and then, hoy,
Mm-hmm.
i-implement
Mm-hmm.
nyo na yan dahil nagpa-seminar
Mm-hmm.
tayo.
Correct.
That's not it. I mean,
Kailangan
para ka
bukas
lang
okay na kayong lahat.
oo, hindi ibig sabihin na hinandaan kita ng pagkain, I expect you to eat everything, 'di ba? So,
Mm-mm. Correct.
iba yung umupo tayo, kumain tayo ng sabay, na, 'di ba,
Mm-hmm.
na-enjoy natin pareho yung pagkain.
Correct. Correct.
It's
Mm-hmm.
the overall experience. I mean, it has to be end to end. Kaya ko
Mm-hmm.
to, siguro I'm passionate in the sense, may because L&D ako no? At
Mm-mm.
OD kasi
Same
ang
here,
minamaster
actually.
ko ngayon.
Mm-hmm.
So kailangan mag-bridge yun yung
Mm-hmm.
connection, no? I'm not saying na may gap naman, pero minsan siguro para maiwasan natin yung gap na mangyari or magkaroon, dapat from sa organization pa lang bumababa na yan, no, hanggang sa mga employees. So ang employees na i-inspire ng organization dapat.
Mm-hmm.
Dapat
Mm-hmm.
nagsisimula sa organization yung drive, yung direction,
Mm-hmm.
yung
Correct.
clarity.
Correct. Correct.
Si 'di ba, si employee tuloy or si team member, sasabihin niya, "Uy, 'di ba? Oh, so ako, ano ngayon ang gagawin ko?" Dapat yun na yung sa kanya para
Mm-hmm.
mag-improve
Mm-hmm.
yung performance ko and paano ko pag gustong i-improve yung sarili ko? So dito na papasok yung personal improvement. So hindi lang
Correct.
tayo nagfo-focus sa kung ano yung maibibigay mo sa organization, pero ikaw, anong maitutulong namin sa personal mo na improvement bilang tao? So yun ang pinakamahalaga kasi tayo isang organisasyon na naniniwala sa mga core values. Alam nga naman, hindi natin isagawa yun, no?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
si employee, halimbawa, nakapag-train na siya, pwede naman siyang, gusto niya mag-external trainings pa rin siya or magbasa-basa or kung what not. Pero, maganda na may sustainability yung mga ginagawa, no? So, sabihin na natin, ako, si employee, na umattend ng training, dapat si supervisor or kung sino man sa organization may follow through. 'Di ba? Sinasabi natin lagi sa HR 'yan. Pero ano ba yung mga follow through, 'di ba? So, syempre hindi naman kailangang marami pero yung alam natin na makikita nating mai-apply. So one na masasuggest ko is in the individual development plan. So magandang maglagay tayo ng opportunity for them to create a plan for themselves, no? Ano sa tingin nila yung makakatulong. Kasi nag-express na, nakita na nila yung support natin eh. Pero ikaw, ano sa tingin mo ang kailangan mo? 'Di ba? Anong pwede mong gawin? Ganyan. Kasi sa kanila na to galing, 'di ba? Kasi do-document natin 'yan. Tapos i-monitor natin progressively together para may guide. Kasi alam mo naman ng tao, with all the cares in the world, pwedeng ma-sidetrack, 'di ba? So, lahat naman tayo kailangan ng guide, May. Hindi naman natin kayang mag-isa lang talaga. Kailangan nating aminin na kaya tayo may pamilya, kaya tayo may mga kaibigan, kasi hindi naman tayo mabubuhay ng tayo lang, no? So, kailangan na may awareness na si employee. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano pang gusto mong gawin para naman mag-improve ka? So, malaking bagay na mayroon siyang action plan, no?
Correct, correct. That's so great, Miss Celeste. Grabe, sobrang bountiful ng conversations natin this afternoon. Kasi I'm just realizing, as I said, I'm a psych graduate. But before, all my life, my thinking of emotional intelligence is it's your own, no? It's solely in your control. But I really, really appreciate how we pointed out all of these things. Like we do follow through, no, a personal development plan or individual development plan would really work, no? And of course, progressively with the employees, ang masasabi ko lang this, ang daming trabaho ng HR. No?
True, oo.
Ang laki ng role ng HR with, maintaining the employee's emotional intelligence and of course the management as well. So again, thank you so much, Miss Celeste. No, siguro
Sure.
before we end, Miss Celeste, no, what would be na lang siguro, let's just wrap it up, no, in one go, no, what would be your advice to all our viewers watching about emotional intelligence, how they can improve it and all of that?
Siguro, siguro three advice. One is for the organization. Kung meron tayo, no, na representative ng organizations and you're a part of that critical group who can make a difference, you don't have to be an HR in order to help your workforce. So kung nasa operations ka or nasa shared services ka, you can still provide support. And you can take part in the projects by collaborating or being a committee, diba? So there's employee support and there's employee assistance you can be a part of. It doesn't always have to be in your job description. So second advice would be to the supervisors and managers. So kayo po ang mas nakakakilala dapat ng inyo pong mga team members. And that's why I call them team members and not employees, because partners natin po sila to deliver. Hindi naman po tayo makakagawa ng kahit ano nang wala po sila. So they make us look good. One thing is for sure. And kumbaga, we are good at what we do because we take care of them and we know how to bring out the most or the best or the potential in them. And my last advice goes to the team members. Meron po kasi tayong mga team members, May, na they don't get the support that they need from their supervisors and managers. And we have to accept the fact that this happens talaga today. Na buti na lang malakas ang loob nitong team member. Buti na lang talagang, alam mo yon, may pangarap siya sa buhay. Buti na lang itong team member na to, highly emotionally intelligent. Kumbaga, meron siyang awareness, may self-management siya. Kaya niya talaga. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na kinakaya, tamang siya lang ang kumakaya, di ba? So, kung ikaw ay nasa ganyang sitwasyon ngayon, my advice is to openly communicate. Kasi, alam mo, hindi ibig sabihin na kaya mo ngayon, bukas kakayanin mo pa rin. You never know what can happen. So, kasi hopefully hindi naman ako nananakot or nagte-threaten. Pero nangyari kasi sa akin yan, May, na isang araw, pagod na lang talaga ako, na burnout na talaga ako. Kasi, alam mo yung feeling mo na ikaw lang talaga yung nagka-carry ng burden And syempre, siguro meron ka kasing heart as big as your team to just look after others that your manager, supervisor cannot do. So, hindi naman sa malalim ang hugot ko, pero dati, so, ang masasabi ko lang yan, open up. If hindi mo pa kaya sa supervisor mo or sa sa manager mo, magandang meron kang may open. Sana wag muna sa team member mo. Kasi syempre, alam mo yun, minsan kasi negative yung impact eh. Alam mo yun, yung parang,
Lumalaki, lumalaki.
oo. So, mas maganda siguro sabihin mo sa mentor mo kung may mentor ka outside the organization kasi objective ang perspective niyan. Kasi hindi niya kilala yung manager or supervisor mo. Second na pwede mong i-open na, siguro kapag nakaipon ka na ng lakas, during sa performance discussion or before, baka coaching or check-in discussion, ako, I would advise check-in discussion, open mo na kung anong kailangan mo. Pero syempre, handa mo rin sarili mo na hindi ka naman laging mapapakinggan. Now, if ever that happens, eto na, dito na papasok yung self-management, diba? If you love this job, but your boss doesn't support you and you have an escalation tree in your organization and you need to escalate this, you think talagang kailangan na, please make sure to escalate it, no, with the guidance of your HR. Kung kasi pasok pa rin naman to noon sa support nila. And sana makatulong, no? Sana wag umabot doon sa mas higher sa level ng quitting, pero kung if ever that is the way to go, then we'll see. At least alam mo naman na hindi ka naman, kumbaga na-exhaust mo yung mga efforts.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay, with that said, Miss Celeste, can you be my mentor? I'm just kidding.
Anytime, May.
Yeah. I really learned so much. No, we've had several episodes, and this is, I think, one of the episodes that really touches the heart. No, it's not very technical, but it really does touch the heart. And parang at the end of the day, we have to go back to to our roots, not to our not just focus on core values and all of that, but of course with the employees. Go back to our employees. If you are part of the management team watching right now, or if you are an employee, I hope you were able to learn something from our session today. So there you have it. Thank you so much, Miss Celeste, for sharing your time amidst your busy schedule. And of course, thank you for sharing your expertise and knowledge and the impact of emotional intelligence in the workplace. As I said, I have really, really learned so much. And before I let you go, Miss Celeste, do you have anything to promote to our audience?
Sure. Other than dun sa advocacy na yan, May, let's put the human back in human resources, no?
Correct.
So that has been my advocacy ever since. We have an upcoming November event. It's the first rewards and recognition program of the organization I support. And it's going to be held in Parañaque. So imagine this, May, it's a year end and we're celebrating milestones. And the company that I work with right now is just a 3-year company, so medyo bago pa talaga. And I'm just happy that we are finally doing this, and we're expecting 150 team members coming, and of course our client list is there, and I'll be sharing with you, May, kapag meron na kaming final details. And we would love, if there are other clients and companies who would like to be featured in our event, kasi we are live streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and on our page. So I don't have the ano pa kasi, the promotional details. Sorry, May, no, pero I'd love to share that with you when it's ready.
All right, all right, all right. There you go, everyone. So if you are interested with that in the future, maybe just connect with Miss Celeste on LinkedIn or her social media sites. And of course, thank you again, Miss Celeste, for a bountiful conversation. I've learned so much. As I said, kung pwede ka maging mentor.
Thanks, May. This is our first time to meet, no? Pero
yes, actually, this is our
we
first
have
time
that
to meet.
such connection, you think?
Yes, this is our first time to meet, but I felt I felt personal connection already.
Me too, kahit sa chat. I mean, email ba?
Yes.
No. Thank you, May, na-appreciate kita.
Thank you so much, Miss Celeste. So again, to our viewers, if you are interested in the future to go back to this episode or our previous episode, you may always do that. You may visit our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Again, HR on the Go is a joint collaboration between Clark HR Council and International HRs Hence the Truth, airing live on CHRC Facebook page every month. So if you are interested, again, in becoming a member of a CHRC, you do not have to live within Clark or be a member of an organization within Clark. No, you may join www.clarkhrcouncil.org/join. So again, thank you so much, Miss Celeste, for that wonderful conversation. So again,
Congratulations, May.
all right,
More
thank you
power
so
to HR
much.
on the go.
Thank you, Miss Celeste. So to our viewers, thank you for tuning in this episode of HR on the Go Season 2, Episode 5. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
The Philippines is being called Asia's rising tiger. But what exactly does this mean? Posting a GDP growth of 6.7% in 2017, the country has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, expanding at a rate unseen in the last 5 decades. The good news is, it's just getting started. The better news is that we have designed a brand new city to be the nucleus of this economic renaissance. Less than 1 hour from the capital, Manila, straddled by hills and blessed with tropical climate all year long, we are building the city of the future, a landmark development twice the size of Manhattan. Originally developed by the Americans for its secure and strategic location in Asia Pacific, Clark is being transformed into a disaster-resilient metropolis that will be competitive and attractive to a global market. It will consist of 4 main districts. The Clark Freeport Zone, an existing mixed-use complex established in the 90s. Clark Global City, which will serve as the primary business district. And New Clark City, which will house satellite government offices and a first-class sports village. Central to all of this is Clark International Airport, which will soon be expanded to accommodate up to 80 million passengers a year. This ensures that travel will be comfortable while trade is seamless. A city unmatched in connectivity, with access to world-class highways and the service of high-speed railways, connecting north to south and east to west, across surrounding seas and over oceans. Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. With no red tape, lower taxes, and endless investment opportunities. This is a city prepared to attract talent so that the country's best and brightest will come here to work and choose to call this place home. Because this is a city that knows how to play, where you can unwind at your own speed, where safety is paramount, and people always come first. This is a city where history and culture thrive, where modern conveniences meet timeless traditions, and progress is driven by passion. This is a city with limitless ambition that may someday find itself among the great cities of the world, built for business so that time is always well spent, and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark.